afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Raleigh Moravian Church for the Court of Honor for John Michael Mallett, otherwise known as JJ. Before we get started, if you have one of these and it's not set to silence or vibrate, please take care of that at this point. I would now like to call this Court of Honor to order. Call on Scouts Ryland Wade, Caswell Choi, and Joel Caliendo from Troop 346 to present the colors.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please rise for the presentation of the colors? Color Guard events. Color Guard, place the colors. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And Scout vote.
I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
And Scout will.
Scout is trustworthy, loyal, helpful, friendly, courteous, kind, obedient, cheerful, thrifty, brave, clean, and reverent.
Thank you, everyone. May be seated. Raleigh Moravian Church and Troop 346 would like to welcome all Scouts, leaders, family, and friends of JJ Mallett here today for this ceremony. At this time, I would like that all Eagle Scouts of all ages who are with us today to please stand. All right, excellent. Welcome and thank you for joining us today as we honor and welcome a new Eagle. And I will take a moment to say that during the ceremony, we're going to ask everyone who is an Eagle Scout to come forward, and we will do the ceremony of passing the badge down, so we will tell you when we'd like you to come forward, and we'd like you to tell us your name, your troop, and the year, your hometown, and when you got your Eagle. So we'll remind you of that at the proper time. I now call on Kevin Bunn to give the invocation.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let us pray. Creator of the universe, you have given us everything on this beautiful earth. We ask you to bring your spirit into this place as we gather today and watch over this court of honor through JJ Mallett. Guide our hearts and our footsteps today and every day as we try to follow your path and become the people you want us to be. As we walk the trail of life, be our compass by day and our North Star by night. Help us to choose the high and honorable road in every fork of the trail. Make our hearts light even when our packs are heavy. Help us to find the strength and courage to get up and go on, even when we stumble and fall. Make our bodies strong, our minds keen, and our friendships warm and true. Help us to be a force for good and make the world a better place for all people. Remind us to reach back and help others who will climb the mountain behind us. Help us to realize that we do not pass even a single milestone without your help. Heavenly Father, we ask your blessings for JJ, his family, and all his friends who have come together today for this happy occasion. Amen.
Thank you, Kevin. By the power vested in me by the National Council of the Boy Scouts of America, I declare this Court of Honor in session to be duly convened for the sole purpose of presenting the Eagle Scout Award to JJ Mallett. This time I'd like to call Assistant Scoutmaster Mike Reese forward for the Scout Oath and Candle Ball ceremony, and also the Scouts will participate in that.
Before you stands a single lighted candle. It represents the spirit of scouting. The law of this troop is the Scout Law. Scouts also live by another code, which is the Scout Oath. The Scout Oath describes 3 duties that every scout must accept. Please light the 3 candles representing the 3 points of the Scout Oath. Duty to God and country. Duty to others. And duty to self. Repeat with me this oath. On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, and to obey the Scout Law, to help other people at all times, to keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight. Like the Scout Oath, the Scout Law also comprises principles by which a scout is called to live. The remaining 12 candles represent the points of conduct contained in the Scout Law. A few months before his death, on June 11, 1979, John Wayne shared his own interpretation of the Scout Law and what it means to him. A scout is trustworthy. Nice words. Trouble is, we learn them so young, we sometimes don't get all the understanding that goes with the 12 points. I take care of that with my family. As each boy reaches scout age, I make sure he learns the Scout Law. Then I break it down for him a few things that I picked up more than half a century I learned. Trustworthy, the badge of honesty. Having it lets you look any man straight in the eye. Lacking it, he won't look back. Keep this one at the top of your list. A scout is loyal. The very word is life itself, for without loyalty, we have no love of person or country. A scout is helpful. Part sharing, part caring. By helping each other, we help ourselves, not to mention mankind. Be always full of help. The dying man's last words. A scout is friendly. Brotherhood is part of that word. You can take it in a lot of directions and do, but make sure and start with brotherhood. A scout is courteous. Allow each person his human dignity, which means a lot more than saying just, yes ma'am, and thank you sir. It reflects an attitude that later in life you wish you had. Save yourself that problem and do it now. A scout is kind. This one word would stop wars and erase hatreds. But it's like your bicycle. It's just no good unless you get out and you use it. A scout is obedient. Start at home, practice it on your family. Enlarge it to your friends and share it with humanity. A scout is cheerful. Anyone can put on a happy face when the going's good. The secret is to wear it as a mask for your problems. It might surprise you how many others do the same thing. A scout is friendly. It means a lot more than just putting pennies away, and it's the opposite of cheap. Common sense covers it just about as well as anything. A scout is brave. You don't have to fight to be brave. Millions of good, fine, decent folks show more bravery than heavyweight champs just by getting out of bed every morning, going out and doing a good day's work, and living the best life they know how against a lot of odds. Brave. Keep the word handy every day of your life. A scout is clean. Soap and water help a lot on the outside, but it's the inside that counts, and don't ever forget it. And a scout is reverent. Believe in anything that you want to believe in, but keep God at the top of it. With Him, life can be a beautiful experience, but without Him, you're just biding your time.
Thank you, Mike. And Scouts, you can be seated. Now call on Steve Blount for the Eagle Scout Challenge.
The foremost responsibility
motto of an Eagle Scout is to live with honor. To an Eagle Scout, honor is the foundation of all character. He knows that a scout is trustworthy. It's the very first point of Scout law for good reason. An Eagle Scout lives honorably, not only because honor is important to him, but also because of the vital significance of the examples he sets for other Scouts. Living honorably reflects credit on his home, his church, his troop, and his community. May the white and the Eagle badge remind you always to live with honor. The second obligation of Eagle Scout is loyalty. A Scout is true to his family, his Scout leaders, his friends, his school, and his nation. His loyalty to his troop and brother Scouts make him pitch in and carry his share of the load. All these things help to build a loyalty that means devotion to community, to country, to one's own ideals, and to God. Let the blue and Eagle badge always inspire your loyalty. The third obligation of Eagle Scout is to be courageous. Courage has always been the quality by which men measure themselves and others. To a Scout, bravery means not only the courage to face physical danger, but also determination to stand up for what is right. Trusting in God, with faith in his fellow man, he looks forward each day, seeking his share of the world's work to do. Let the red of the Eagle badge remind you always of courage. The fourth obligation of an Eagle Scout is to be cheerful. To remind the Eagle Scout to always wear a smile, the red, white, and blue ribbon is attached to the scroll of the second class Scout Award, which has its ends turned up in a smile. The final responsibility of an Eagle Scout is service. The Eagle Scout extends a helping hand to those who still toil up the scouting trail, just as others helped him in his climb to be eagle. The performance of the daily good turn takes on a new meaning when he enters in a more adult life of continuing service to others. The Eagle stands as a protector of the weak and helpless. He aids and comforts the unfortunate and the oppressed. He upholds the rights of others while defending his own. He will always be prepared to put forth his best. JJ, you deserve all the credit for this. I personally have been with JJ since he was a Tiger Cub when he was 7 years old. It's like 10 years. It's almost a third of my life. You doing okay in math? I want you to remember where it's for humility. Be mindful that the Eagle Scouts looked up to as an example in this world. And may the Scout oath and the Scout love always be your guide for tomorrow and on.
Thank you, Steve. I now call on Troop 346 Assistant Scoutmasters James Dill and Robert Wade for the presentation of the Eagle Scout and the Eagle Scout Award.
At this time, it's my pleasure to present our Eagle Scout candidate to the court. JJ, would you please come forward? JJ, you were a young scout, probably the league was when you joined the troop. You learned to scout up the scout law. You understand a whole lot about what it meant?
Yes, sir.
Good for you, you're one of the few. And every time we turn around, we're asking you to repeat the scout oath and scout law. As you got older, did it become more apparent what these things meant?
Yes, sir.
Okay. As you gained rank in the troop and took on leadership positions, did you expect the scout oath and scout law from your fellow scouts?
Yes, sir.
And from the adult leaders?
Yes, sir.
All right. It's a little different from the ones in Korea. Over the years, the scout oath and scout law has become a part of your life, and you attempt to live as best you can by the points of the scout oath and scout law, and you expect it from others.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. In recognition of the obligations of the scout oath and scout law, would you please reaffirm by correctly delivering the scout oath?
On my honor, I will do my best to do my duty to God and my country, to obey the Scout law, to help other people at all times, keep myself physically strong, mentally awake, and morally straight.
Excellent. Out of work. Out of hard work. I ask you to put the scout sign and repeat after me, and I'm not going to try and make it too long. I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I reaffirm my allegiance to the three promises of the Scout Oath.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations and responsibilities of the rank of Eagle Scout.
I thoughtfully recognize and take upon myself the obligations of the rank of Eagle Scout.
On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example.
On my honor, I will do my best to make my training an example.
My rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting
My rank and my influence count strongly for better scouting
and better citizenship in my troop,
and better citizenship in my troop,
in my community,
in my community,
and in my contacts with other persons.
and in my contact with other persons.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
To this I pledge my sacred honor.
Remain.
Will the parents of JJ please come forward? At this time, I would like all Eagle Scouts to please come forward and form a single line in front of me facing the audience. As you receive this Eagle badge, please state your name, troop number and location, and the year you earned your Eagle. Robert Wade, Troop 28, Franklin, Virginia, 1989.
Bob Payne, Raleigh, North Carolina, 2017, Troop 357.
William O'Brien, Turnersville, North Carolina, Troop 940, 1974.
Colton Liskey, Troop 364, Howell, Michigan, 2013.
Stephen Reese, Troop 364, 346, Raleigh, NC, 2016.
Jack Rooney, Raleigh, North Carolina, Troop 399, 2019.
Thank you, Eagle Scouts. Please be seated. Eagle Scout JJ Malik, we now proclaim to the entire world your accomplishments. The symbol of your success is the Eagle Badge, which will now be pinned over your heart. Eagle Scout JJ Malik, in recognition of the many hours of patient guidance given by your mother and your efforts, will you pin the Eagle Mother's pin over your mother's heart? In recognition of the wisdom and guidance given to you by your father, will you present to him this Eagle pin, which he will be proud to wear in your honor? parents, you may now be seated.
And now we'll have the equal charge. Colton Liskey will read the equal charge. You can actually sit down next to your dad there. Colton's looking right at you.
Boy Scouts of all nations constitute one of the most meaningful and significant movements in the world's history, and you have been counted worthy of a high rank in its membership. All who know you rejoice in your achievement. Your position, as you well know, was one of honor and responsibility. As an Eagle Scout, you have assumed a solemn obligation to do your duty to God, to country, to fellow Scouts, and to humanity. This is a great undertaking. As you live up to your obligations, you bring honor to yourself and to your brother Scouts. When you fail, you bring down by so much the good name of all true and worthy Scouts. Your responsibility goes beyond your fellow Scouts to your country and God. America has many good things to give you and your children after you, but these good things depend, for the most part, on the character and leadership abilities of her citizens. You are to help her in all that she needs most. She has a great past, and you are here to make her future greater. I charge you to undertake your citizenship with a solemn dedication. Be a leader, but lead only towards the best. Lift up every task you do and every office you hold to the highest level of service to God and your fellow men. So live and serve. Those who know you will be inspired to have the finest living. We have too many who use their strength and their brains to exploit others and to gain selfish ends. I charge you to be among those who dedicate their skills and abilities to the common good. Build America on the solid foundation of clean living, honest work, unselfish citizenship, and reverence for God. And whatever others may do, you will leave behind a record which every Scout can be proud of.
Thank you, Colton. Now, JJ, this is your chance. Speak to your adoring fans.
Hello, everyone. Thank you all for coming to my Court of Honor today. I'd first like to start by thanking everyone who supported me along my scouting journey. Firstly, my parents. My mom and dad both worked very hard driving me to meetings and other campouts, and I'm thankful for the opportunity that they gave me to get this award by enrolling me in Scouts when I was younger. Secondly, the Scoutmasters. I know that our troop Scoutmasters put a lot of hard work in that allows us to go on fun trips like Sea Base and the caving trip a few years ago, which were experiences that I will never forget. So I'd like to thank the Scoutmasters, especially those who don't currently have Scouts in the troop and are doing it for the love of scouting. The time that you all put in has made a great scouting experience for me. When I think back on my scouting career, there are many memories that stick out, like the Pinewood Derby when I was younger, selling popcorn, and going skiing. But there's one memory in particular that I'd like to talk about today. Back in October of 2014, I was in 7th grade and probably about a foot shorter than I am now. The troop had been planning a backpacking trip at Eno River State Park. The plan was that we would meet at 5 and then leave at 5:30. It was a little over a 30-minute drive. And getting there at 6 would allow us to take the 1-mile hike to the campsite where we would set up our tents and cook dinner. However, due to some poor planning by the Scouts and probably not the best time management, we ended up leaving a bit after 6. When we finally got to Eno River State Park, it was already getting dark, so we rushed to get hiking to the campsite. Everyone had their flashlights out and we all got going. Because there were a range of Scouts of all ages, our group ended up stringing out while hiking to the campsite. It got dark out, especially since we were in the woods, and I just hiked along following the group with my backpack on. When we got about 30 minutes or so into the hike, people started to realize something was up. Some of us wanted to turn back and see if we missed the turn, However, there was a group of scouts that had gone pretty far ahead of the rest of us, so we couldn't leave them and keep walking. If missing the turn to our campsite wasn't enough, it started pouring rain. It wasn't too cold out, but combined with the rain, I was miserable hiking forward when pretty much everyone knew that we'd missed our turn. As we walked, my bag, clothes, and gear all got soaked. This just made the walk more miserable, as we were all carrying more water weight with us. We ended up eventually catching up to the front group, who had stopped on the trail to wait for us. We decided that it was probably best to set up our tents on the side of the trail and then wake up early the next morning to find our campsite. Anyone who's been camping knows that setting up your tent in the dark is hard enough, but with the rain, my hands were going numb, and I remember struggling to set up the tent. I was wet, miserable, and most of all, hungry. After I finally got my tent set up, I pulled the chili from my bag that I planned to eat for dinner. Luckily, a chili in a can can't get wet. Most of the others had just settled down in their tents and eaten food that they had packed. So my dad and I stood out in the pouring rain and heated up the chili over the little camp stove that we had packed. The scouts in this troop know that I've cooked many things on campouts, from jambalaya to chicken and biscuits in a Dutch oven. But to this day, that warm chili was the best food I've ever tasted on a campout. I hate to compare the highest award in Boy Scouts to a can of chili, but both my scout journey and that campout had many similar features. Challenges presented themselves throughout my scout journey. There were difficult hiking trips, time-consuming merit badges, and multiple failed Eagle Project plans. However, those were the things that made this award feel so much more special to me. Starting as a Tiger Scout and working my way through the ranks is an experience that shaped the person who I am today. I hope that all of the other scouts in this room can achieve this rank, because not only does it feel good for the hard work to pay off, but also it teaches you lessons that you can't learn elsewhere. Someone who's been instrumental to my scouting success is my dad. As a scoutmaster in this troop, he's worked hard to not only make a good scouting experience for me, but also others. From making Pinewood Derby cars with me as a Cub Scout to driving me around to sell popcorn to my neighbors and being there to ask questions throughout my project, he's truly worked hard to make my scouting experience a great one. So I'd like to give my mentor pin to my dad. Once again, thank you all for coming. I appreciate all the support that everyone has given to me throughout this long process. Thanks.
Now call on Assistant Scoutmaster Steve Lim to present the gifts from Troop 346. So there's going to be two gifts here. There's going to be a neckerchief and there's going to be a framing of your Eagle certificate. And I want you to know that basically everyone who's ever gotten Eagle from this troop, except for the first three boys that we weren't around for those guys, has gotten a framed Eagle certificate. So they all kind of look just alike. So you're joining a very exclusive club.
Would you come forward a little? So before I say it, I'd like to say, I've been on a lot of camp. I missed that camp out, by the way. I came late with the Cub Scouts the next day, so I missed that one. JJ's always been, he's just been phenomenal on camp out. He's a great leader. I mean, all of you probably know him already, but it was great to have not only JJ, but his family as well. Abby and Chelsea actually came on some of our camp outs as well occasionally. So, and Michelle actually came on one of the long bike rides and helped out. So it has been good to have a whole family. So I was glad that you honored your dad. He deserves that mentor pin. So I'd like to present you with this. First was, I'm going to let Wade do this because my shoulder surgery. He's going to present you with the new neckerchief.
John Dilday from the Wake County Marine Corps League Tar Heel Detachment for a presentation.
JJ, could you come front, sir? Good afternoon. My name is John Dilday, and it's truly a pleasure to represent the Tar Heel Detachment of the Marine Corps League to recognize this new Eagle Scout. Joining me today is fellow Marine Toby Robbins, and it's truly an honor and a privilege for us to present the Good Citizenship Award to John JJ Malik. But first, we would like to congratulate your parents, your scout leaders, for they have been your encouragers behind you reaching this great accomplishment. There are 10 ways to be a good citizen. Volunteer to be active in your community, be honest and trustworthy, follow rules and laws, respect the rights of others, be informed about the world around you, respect the property of others, be compassionate, take responsibility for your own actions, be a good neighbor, and protect the environment. You set the example in all these ways. Marines are thought of as Marines and Eagle Scouts have a lot in common in that the title of Marine is always earned. It is never given. As with the Eagle Scout title, it is never given. This award was not handed just to you. You earned it. It will not be one of those items that will be packed away with other trophies of your youth, but instead, it will be displayed in your daily activities, and its quintessence will always live in your heart. As Marines, we have a code that we follow, just like Eagle Scouts have a code. That is of honor, courage, and commitment. Honor to follow God, country, and family. Courage to face the difficult and to persevere. Commitment to never give up. Always complete the task. JJ, like your grandfather that came before us, he always said, once a Marine, always a Marine. Once the title of Eagle Scout is earned, it can never be taken away. As Marines, a bond is formed, and throughout your life, our life, we meet fellow Marines. We form an instant brotherhood. In the years to come, you will casually meet other men who are Eagle Scouts. There will be an instant bond of fellowship, for you each have shared a common experience. You each know the other can be trusted as a friend and as a brother scout. The comradeship among Eagle Scouts extends throughout the nation, yes, even throughout the world. JJ, Marines are thought of as the few, the proud. Eagle Scouts join the ranks of the few. For since the inception of the scouting program, less than 2% all young men that started that initial scouting trail ever become Eagle Scouts. You are the proud. You now have become a part of the elite. You're joining such men as Gerald Ford, the first Eagle Scout to become President of the United States. Arthur Eldred, September the 2nd, 1912. At age 17, he became America's first Eagle Scout. Neil Armstrong, the astronaut, the first man to walk on the moon. Steven Spielberg, the Academy Award-winning film producer. And Terry Sanford, he was former governor and senator of North Carolina, and former president of Duke University. And this is what he said about his scouting experience. And I quote, "It probably saved my life in the war." That's World War II. Boys who had been scouts knew how to look after themselves in the woods. What I learned in scouts sustained me all my life. It helped me make decisions about what was best. Now joining the ranks of those who came before, it's an honor to present to John JJ Mallett, the new Eagle Scout, the Good Citizenship Award for attaining the highest rank in scouting. Congratulations. JJ, we also have a special presentation for you. It's in honor of a special member of the Tar Heel Detachment, a Marine that became a Boy Scout at the age of 11. He earned his Eagle rank in 1942. However, just after completing his Eagle requirements, he spent 4 years in the Marine Corps and served in the Pacific during World War II, flying as a tail gunner in the back of an SPF-5. It was after serving his country that he actually received his Eagle Medal. After he moved to Raleigh, he rejoined the Boy Scout program. He served the scouting program for more than 80 years. He was awarded the Silver Beaver, the highest honor a leader can earn. 95-year-old Frank Mansfield, an Eagle Scout for 74 years, is here today only in spirit. He passed away on Tuesday, August the 1st, 2017. But it's in his honor that we would like to present to you a coin. It's a symbol for you to begin each day by placing it in your left pocket. And after you have done a good deed for the day, you move it to your right pocket. Frank kept his coin in his pocket right up to his last day. He made it his priority to do something to help somebody every day. So it is a challenge to you, JJ, always do a good deed. Congratulations, and JJ, we encourage you, wear your Eagle title with pride.
Not every Marine would have or could have been an Eagle Scout, but every Eagle Scout could be a Marine.
So as I was sitting up here listening to JJ's comments, it made me think of something Steve said, that 10 years she's been involved in scouting as a Tiger Cub and so much of his life. So just real quickly, if you were a Cub Master of Pack 346, please stand up. If you were a Scoutmaster at any time of Troop 346, please stand up. And if you're Assistant Scoutmaster or a committee member, please stand up at this point. So thanks to all of you for everything you did for JJ and for all the Scouts. And JJ, your comments were well received as to the help that you got from the leadership of the troops. So thank you so much. Please have a seat. At this point, I now ask Kevin Bundy to come forward to read the honor roll of Eagles. And I'll ask Ian Shields to come forward and help me hold the plaques if he could. I'll break over.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Here at Raleigh, Moravian, we support all young people and are pleased to sponsor Boy Scout Troop 346. One of our traditions at an Eagle Court of Honor is to read the name on the Eagle plaque and ask that all who earn the rank of Eagle in Troop 346 stand, please, and remain standing. So all who earn the rank of Eagle Scout in Troop 346, please stand. And remain standing. On behalf of Raleigh Moravian Church, as well as the troop committee, it is my pleasure to read the Roll of Eagles. Park Terrell, 1971. Frank Venable, 1972. Clark Wright, 1973. Andy Greenwood, 1994. Robert Fairfax, David Cranford, and Benton Weiss, 1997. Chris Brownfield, Edwin Fairfax, Zach Keefer, James Freeman, 1998. Benjamin Gary, Bill Teeter, Joe Cranford, and Robbie Hollowell, 1999. John Seltzer, Stephen Boschel, Niraj Patel, 2000. Andrew Rowe, Brian Price, Jonathan Clark, and Brendan Shields, 2001. Michael Crouch, 2002. Michael Shields, John Kilpatrick, 2003. Benjamin Rowe, 2004. Jack Anderson, 2005. Chandler Hatchell and Will O'Neill, 2008. Nick Carter, 2009. John Patton, 2011. Christian Ray, Alex Russo, 2012. Justin Dove, 2012. David Reese, 2014. Henry Bunn, 2015. Stephen Reese, 2016. Stephen's with us. Jack Messenger, 2017. Alex Cope, 2017. Blake Flannery, David Glenn, and Caleb Turner, Jacob Hartman, 2018. Gray Thompson, 2019. I would like to now add the name of Eagle Scout JJ Mallett to the honor roll. Congratulations, JJ, and welcome home to all the Eagles, Troop 346.
So we started that tradition. One of the scout dads made the original plaque for us, and I think we would never fill that up. And then we had to get a second plaque made. And we're starting down the second row of the second plaque. So we now come to the end of the Court of Honor. Let us all stand and close with the Scout Justice.
Softly falls the light of day as our campfire fades away. Silently each scout should ask, have I done my daily task? Have I kept my honor right? Can I guiltless sleep tonight? Have I done and have I dared everything to be prepared?
Color Guard, please retire the colors.
Color Guard, retreat.
So at this point, this Eagle Court of Honor stands adjourned. I would like to let everyone know that there is a reception in the fellowship hall. So if you go through those doors, down the hall, you will see the fellowship hall. Thank you all for coming today.